Good morning. I'm Dick Wagner. I want to talk to you today about best marketing questions. There's been the saying, actually, I've said it many, many times, thousands of times. If you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't ask, you don't know. And so I want to give you a series of what I consider marketing questions that you should be asking your clients and your prospects to learn, to understand, to gain some insight and knowledge about their business. So here we go. Topic is best marketing questions. I'm going to overwhelm you in a way with a whole bunch of really good questions. You might want to take a screenshot of this slide, or you might want to jot them down, or you can even email me and ask me to send you this list of really good questions. First one, tell me the top 3 challenges you face in your business. That applies to plumbers or insurance agents. How is success defined by your insurance carrier? In other words, if they're a State Farm agent, how is your success defined by State Farm? What a great question. Who are the top 2 or 3 leaders that you really respect? If they tell you Joe Biden and Mr. Obama, good chances are you will now know what you should not be talking about with your client. You could even ask plumbers, what trade shows do you attend? Or what publications do you read? In the insurance business, you know they're going to read some publications. In the plumbing business, they're probably going to read the PHCC magazine, or the Plumbing Contractor magazine, or even more specific than that, the Kitchen and Bath publications. If you find out what they watch or what they read, for heaven's sakes, subscribe to them yourself so you know the stuff that they're learning. Tell me the top 3 things that you want to achieve in this next 12 months. Do you have a favorite or a specialty policy that you like to sell? How much do you engage on social media? What's your number 1 marketing strategy? And how can I help you achieve that? How many clients are repeat customers? Should we take you off the list? If you've been calling on them for months and months and they've not given you any jobs, ask them, should we take you off the list? My time and your time is valuable. You haven't been able to send us any jobs. Should we take you off the list? I have to tell you, nobody. I just did a Zoom call with somebody just this morning, just before this presentation. And she said, I don't want to be taken off the list, and I don't even know what the list is. My point is, nobody wants to be taken off the list. So maybe you should be bold enough to ask that. Those types of questions demonstrate that you're different. Those kind of questions grab their attention. Those kind of questions show you, or it shows you, how interested you are in them and not in yourself. You know, the old classic, you walk into an insurance agent's office and with an incredible amount of arrogance, you say, do you know who we are? Or do you know what we do? Come on. That kind of a question is all about you. You ought to know what's on their, what I refer to as whiteboard. In your office, in many, many offices, not always out in the public eye, but someplace in the office, there is often a whiteboard or a dry erase board or a poster board that has something on it that is important or critical or something they care about, they want to achieve, they want to be reminded of. And you ought to know what's on their whiteboard, either figuratively or literally. If you know what's on their whiteboard, what's important to them, you can talk about it. And that enables you to talk about them and not you. It enables you to talk about something that's near and dear to their heart. I encourage you to be unusual. Tell them something they did not know. Be the source of knowledge for them. Tell them something that's a truth that they did not know and they're surprised to know, and it elevates you, and without you needing to be elevated, without you needing to talk about yourself, it elevates you. We refer to them as disruptive truths. Disruptive because they don't know about it, they're surprised to learn it, and it gets their attention. It's unusual. They're suddenly paying attention to you. Yes, you should not make it about yourself, but when they're paying attention to you, you can capture their interest. Carefully select your targets. I'm going to elaborate on this way. There are, in a typical market, in a typical restoration marketing territory, there are somewhere around 250 to 300 or 400 insurance agents that you could call on. I certainly recommend you call on every one of them the first or second time around. Might take you several months to get through that list. But then start weeding them out. Start eliminating them. Start selecting the ones that are the most important targets to you. The ones that you want to convert to a client. Select those targets carefully and then work just those targets, and let all of the rest of the targets go. Let somebody else waste their time month after month after month after month calling on those targets of which may never, ever send you a job. Learn about them. You know what? Today, it's okay if you do it by computer, if you do it by Facebook, LinkedIn, social media apps, it's okay to stalk them as long as you're stalking them to learn about a prospect or a client so you can better engage with them. You can't engage with them effectively if, number one, you don't ask, and number two, you don't check them out. You don't do some research, some homework. You don't do some intel. I'm going to narrow it right down to you need to be able to stalk them so you can learn about them and bring value to them. The whiteboard, I mentioned it a few moments ago. A whiteboard is in most every office. And on the whiteboard, it often shows what's important to that office or to that person in that office. So try to find out what's on that whiteboard. I mean, I don't mean, go barreling back through the door into their back office and snoop around looking for a whiteboard. Do your research and your intel, ask really good questions, and you'll find out what's on their figurative whiteboard. Whiteboards give you a clue about what's their biggest concern, what's their headache. Do the old Sherlock Holmes thing and do some investigation. Look closely, listen closely, watch closely, and determine what those clues actually are so you can address them. Whiteboards list the client's or the prospect's most pressing issue or concern. And I'm talking about, again, a whiteboard as literal as a whiteboard hanging in the office, or I'm talking about it might be a virtual whiteboard in their head. It actually might be a figurative whiteboard where it's a poster board with a bunch of key information and notes. The reality is it's probably their pain or their challenge or their problem. And you should know about their pain or challenge or problem so you can bring a solution to those issues. Do you know that when you know very little about a prospect, then you have to learn about them and you have to learn about their industry, or else when you call on them, it's a total waste of time. If you call on them, I had a marketer call on insurance agents for 4 years, hundreds of them every month. It was stop, drop, and roll route marketing at its best in obnoxiousness. And when she was asked by me, and when she was asked to verify to the owner, how many of those hundreds of insurance agents actually sent her work, she said 20, 24, something like that. And she was calling on 250, 300 insurance agents. And so then I said, well, why don't you eliminate 200 of them? And she looked at me, this stunned look, and she said, because I'm going to eventually convert them. And I said, well, you haven't done a very good job in 4 years. Why do you think you can convert them moving forward? And she did not have a good answer. So we told her, the owner confirmed and verified that next month, by 30 days from now, or 30 days from that point, she is to eliminate 200 insurance agents from her routes and narrow it down to less than 100. She was floored, she was stunned, but once she did that, fast forward 3 months, and when we asked her again where she was at, and confirmed with the owner and tracking the dollars referred and generated, nothing had changed. Nothing had changed. She was still getting the same 20-some referrals from insurance agents that she'd always gotten. So losing those 200 did not hurt. That's a case of A, B, and C. A, you're going to be your prime clients. B, are those that you really, truly, honestly believe that you can convert, that indicates something that they're going to convert, not just because they'll chat with you for 45 minutes. And C stands for crap. They're never, ever going to send you anything. Ask every single prospect that you come in contact with, what is their number one or number two headache or struggle? If you have the routine and the strategy of asking every single one of them that you visit what that headache or struggle is, you're going to very soon learn what the struggles of insurance agents are. You're going to very soon learn what the plumbing company struggles and headaches are. What incredible knowledge and information for you to have so that you can approach and react and handle those solutions and bring those solutions to your client. I'm Dick Wagner. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate